So, what is Pink Tantra?
Many people in the world, they practice white tantra, which is a very simple form, very clean, clear, spiritual way of following tantra. And some people, they follow the red tantra, which is only to focus mostly on the sexual power, to create a form of manifestation or create sex magic through in order to manifest some things. And you know that when the red and white, they get mixed, we have the pink color, they call it pink tantra, that we bring the spiritual wisdom of tantra and sexual practice together, and when they merge, they call it the pink tantra. I believe that tantra is a life-oriented approach. It wants we bring our divine power, divine quality, and add it to the earth, to the earthly life. Many of the spiritual approach, they say that, or religion, they say that we are here temporary on the earth. Here is not a matter. There is something better waiting for us in another world, in a celestial world, and we must focus on it and reach there. But Tantra says that no, it's a life-oriented. It's not an after-death-oriented approach. It is a life-oriented. It wants we live like a god and goddess and transform our matrix to a heavenly quality and share this love, kindness, support with every living beings around us. So as one foundation of the creation is our sexual energy, is the life force energy, we need to make connection with that sexual energy in order to boost the manifestation, this manifestation that already exists. Whatever that we are experiencing is a form of the energy appeared as a matter or a constructed energy that shaped the matter according to the quantum physics. Everything is energy. So when we go to find the source, the sexual energy that is the source, we create more things, we materialize more things in our reality, and this is how we enrich the reality, enrich our reality. And we do this through a conscious spiritual awareness and devotion to Shakti, that is the source of this life force energy. In the practicing Pink Tantra, we say that our sexual energy is the fragrance of Shakti. We say that we cannot directly understand the Shakti is experimental, and through following her fragrance we can get closer to that source, and through this closeness we can bring more grace, form of manifestation, form of life in our external reality. So the Pink Tantra is a devotional, spiritual, conscious approach in following the fragrance of Shakti. And that's why the purpose of Pink Tantra is not sex, but sex is a way raising the sexual energy and contemplating and have devotion for that sexual energy is a way to get closer to that source. This is one of the aspects of practicing Pink Tantra. to have a conscious journey through by witnessing our sexual energy and have a conscious journey in experiencing our erotic energy, we get closer to understanding the nature and power of Kali or Shakti. Also, to reach to the Kali, to that spectrum of extreme good to extreme bad, extreme beauty to extreme ugliness, which is life indeed. We need to become free from judgmentality. Another reason that we follow sexuality, we follow sex in the Pink Tantra, is to overcome the ability of the ego mind to judge good and bad. Because the most things that everybody is ready to judge in the world is when it comes to the sex. So first we learn to don't judge by honoring the sexual energy through Pink Tantra, to learn how to not judge, as we mentioned in the last video, that is very important for practicing. The first principle for practicing Tantra is to overcome the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So we bring the sexuality and we face our limitation and we give love to that limitation. We transcend the limitation. Secondly, those people who have sexual taboos, they cannot fully follow the fragrance of the Shakti. This is new, we never talked about this before in our previous classes, that when we have any form of discomfort, uncomfort or resistance towards sexuality, in the journey of following the fragrance of Shakti, we could not go deep. Our mind somewhere stopped us. We could not fully embrace this fragrance. And we say that we want to follow the fragrance to reach closer to the source. So we need, another reason that we go towards sexuality is to be able to follow the fragrance without resistance. That's why it's very important. Then the third reason that we bring sexual practices in the Pink Tantra, that in the external reality, in the journey, in what's happening in the world, in our environment, we have lots of layers of mask or protection. We are pretending many things. But when we reach to experiencing our sexuality, we cannot remain covered. We cannot pretend. Sexuality forces us to become naked emotionally and mentally, along to be physically naked. It forces us to become mentally and emotionally naked, which is very important to become vulnerable, to become pure, to become organic. Otherwise, the cover doesn't allow us also get closer to Shakti, to become one with life, with the spectrum of life. To get naked emotionally and physically, we drop the resistance, we become more open to the life, we become more open to wildness, to the flow of the Shakti. And that's why this gives us another chance to go deeper in union with that source. So the Pink Tantra is not about the sex, but use the sex as an instrument to challenge the self, to make yourself vulnerable and one with the sexual energy. And then at the same time, the Pink Tantra use the wisdom, the devotion, respect, ritual in order to don't get lost in the desire of the ego mind. We learn to sacrifice the desire of ego mind for pleasure in Pink Tantra. And that's why we avoid orgasm in following Pink Tantra. We play with the sexual energy, we raise the sexual energy, and we have devotional, meditative connection with this energy, which leads us to follow the fragrance and reach the source. So that's why we have this, the white Tantra, the wisdom of the Tantra, and spirituality comes to keeps us spiritual people in this sexual desireful journey. And also when we talk about get naked to become free from resistance, that's why sometimes in Pink Tantra we use of a ceremonial, systematical, violent to become one with the violent side or dark side of the spectrum of the Kali, spectrum of life, to not scare from that side of this spectrum that carry violence in itself. Also, that form of violence sometimes needed to surrender the ego mind, to lead the ego mind to a state mindless, thoughtless. So that's why one of the things that comes to in this practicing Pink Tantra is to a form of awareness to follow every form of the Shakti or Kali that comes to you in the moment of feeling your erotic energy. You know, when you are going to meet the Kali, to meet the Shakti, it can give you lots of wisdom, intuitive wisdom. It can give you lots of love and kindness. Also, it can give you violence. Because the Kali is the life. When we look at the life is not only kind. Life has death and birth, has ugly things and beautiful things. It has soft things and sharp things. When without this spectrum, the life could not appear. The life has day and night, cold and warm, has the spectrum of all the qualities. Poorness, richness, joy, suffering. Whatever that we see in the life is an aspect of Shakti or Kali. So when we are going to practice Pink Tantra, there are the moments that we don't know exactly in which part of this spectrum we are going to meet the Kali. It can appear as a violence, it can appear as a wisdom, as a kindness, as a love, as a devotion. That's why we go through this practice with a very open-minded and readiness. And why we create ceremony, we go through all of them through a very ceremonial, systematic, conscious way in order to get not lost to none of them. I mean, it can gives you extreme kindness that can be the cause of the losing the self, can gives you extreme violence that can damage the self or the partner. But when we go through this through a ceremonial way, through a conscious, contemplative way, we go to witness it and we are aware about the source. We get connected, but we don't get lost. We keep the line of the connection. That's why this knowledge of the Pink Tantra, they were always esoteric knowledge. Not everybody could follow it, not everybody can do it. It means a power that allows the person to meet the Kali in some of her spectrums. So this was so far a definition of the Pink Tantra, and later on we will have some videos about the practices that we do, what type of the practices involve it, and if you have, or those people who watch this video, if you have any question, you can write it in the comment, or if right now or later you have any question, we will take a video of it and we can add it to the end of this video. Thank you so much.